So guys, we just started our game drive in Queen Elizabeth this morning. As you can see the landscape, we're in the savannah area in the north, and you can tell by how the landscape is, dry open fields, and there are a lot of those cactuses and then the mountain in the backdrop. Just wanted to show you that.
On this episode of Across All Borders Going East, it's all about my game drive through Queen Elizabeth National Park, Kasenyi Plains, Mweya Peninsula, and the Salt Lake. On the 26th of March 2021, I arrived at the Visitor Center at Mweya, paid for an overnight, my entry fee for 24 hours, and the boat cruise on the Kasenyi Channel. On this video, I'll be talking to you about the different sectors in Queen Elizabeth National Park so you can plan your visit accordingly and decide what activities will be interesting for you. I did not get to visit all the sectors of the park, but I will show you the ones that I visited. We're starting from the Mweya Peninsula, where my tour started. On the Mweya Peninsula, you can do the boat cruise on the Kasenyi Channel. This is a beautiful experience because you are able to experience the wildlife along the channel in the waters, such as crocodiles, buffaloes, and hippos, and the bird life surrounding you, as well as the fishing villages along the shores. If you'd like to know more about this episode, click on the link on the right side of the screen now. Another activity that you can do on the Mweya Peninsula is the night game drive. The night game drive is a perfect opportunity to study and watch nocturnal animals. So for example, the wildcats are quite active in the night, and this allows you the opportunity to actually watch them. I was able to do this experience in the South Luangwa National Park in Zambia. If you'd like to know more about it, click on the link on the right side of the screen now. Our next sector is the Kasenyi Plains. The Kasenyi Plains is located 48 kilometers from Kasese town, and it is characterized by open savanna, and it's popularly known as a breeding area for the Ugandan cubs, which means lions also love to hunt here. We were actually hoping to see some cats in this sector. It was not so, but it was still a beautiful experience. What can you do in this sector of the park? You can do game drives, which are either in the morning or late afternoon, and perfect if you did that in an open safari vehicle because it allows you the opportunity to view the large concentration of the Ugandan cubs, some lions, elephants, buffaloes, bushbucks, and different bird species depending on your luck. So some of the birds that you might be able to see around here are the crowned crane, the palm nut vulture, the brown snake eagle, the hooded vulture, the gray-capped warbler, and others. Another activity that you can do in this sector is the lion tracking. The lion tracking is an activity that is done twice a day, morning and late afternoon, that you can organize 24 hours. You have to book it 24 hours in advance, so you have a 95% chance of actually seeing lions on these activities if it is your focus. The next sector of the park we'll be looking at is the Kayambura Gorge sector. The Kayambura Gorge sector is at the eastern part of Queen Elizabeth National Park, and it is stunning. It's a perfect place to view apes, which is why it's also known as the Valley of Apes. You can engage in activities like chimpanzee trekking that takes up to 2 to 3 hours or even longer. You can engage in bird watching and guided nature walks. The next part of this park that we're going to talk about is the Ishasha sector. The Ishasha sector is very popular. A lot of people love to go here. This is the southwestern part of the park, and it is famously known for tree climbing lions. I've experienced the tree climbing lions in Lake Mweya National Park in Tanzania. If you'd like to know more about that experience, click on the link on the right side of the screen now. I have to have a little bit of a spoiler alert. I did not see the tree climbing lions in Ishasha, but I will be covering the experience in the Ishasha sector on different episodes, so please keep your eyes out for this episode. Here you have the possibility of doing a very good game drive focusing on finding these wonderful creatures on the branches. The lions like to climb and lie on the acacia or fig branches because they are resting or looking down at their prey, deciding which one is going to be lunch or dinner, or just running away from flies that somehow irritate the lions, I suppose. So that's it for that sector. The last sector we will be looking at is the Maramagamboya forest. And the Maramagamboya forest is a natural reserve that is located in the Bushenyi district. Please forgive me if I haven't pronounced that correctly. It is also well known for the bat experience. You can do 2 to 6 hours trails through the forest, which allows you explore waterfall, tree craters, and also experience all sorts of wildlife. So that's it for the different sectors in the park. On this episode, we'll be looking at my game drive through the Mweya Peninsula, the Kasenyi Plains, and our visit to the Salt Lake. For the Salt Lake, we saw really large group of flamingos, so make sure you get to the end to see that. For a bonus part, I'll be telling you what a Ugandan Rolex is and why you should have a Ugandan Rolex. So come along, let's check it out.
So is this George? This is Edward. So the game drive has started, the evening one. We're on the channel track and we're seeing our first ones. Okay, so we've started our game drive in Queen Elizabeth National Park, and our first sightings are warthogs right at the beginning of the channel track. So we're going to continue. Now they're running away. I really like the way they run. They're running away from us. So we are going to continue and leave them to their business. Okay, yeah, let's go.
On the evening game drive after my boat cruise on the Kazinga Channel, we didn't actually see a lot, but it was still interesting to drive on the tracks through the Mweya Peninsula. We saw some warthogs, hippos, bird life, after which we just decided to call it a day. We headed back to the Ugandan Wildlife Authority's lodge and restaurant, had dinner, and then went to bed because on the next day we had the Kasenyi Plains, the Salt Lake, and the Ishasha sector.
Is it the hyenas that are smelling like this?
I think so. They don't show.
I think it's hearing the gun. Aha, they're coming. Oh, yeah. So these antelopes are running from the two hyenas we just saw. And I think the hyenas are indeed after them. They're kind of like circling, but they're making their way slowly and they are running away from the hyenas. Huh? can't hear what you're saying. Okay. Day 3 has started. We started with a game drive. We didn't see any cats. The idea was actually to try and see cats at the northern savannah side of it. We didn't see any cats, but we saw some spotted hyenas. And here is a salt lake where salt usually is traditionally mined here. And what's beautiful is, as you can see on the lake, there are a lot of flamingos. And there's like an art shop right here as well. So I'm going to show you the flamingos close up and a bit of the salt lake as much as I can. This is gonna be breakfast. This is chapati, which is actually an Indian flatbread, but has become a main part of the East African kitchen. So in Tanzania, in Kenya, and Uganda, they all eat chapati. But the specialty done with chapati here is the Rolex. And the Rolex is chapati with fried eggs. So it's sort of like if you think about a shawarma, so it's the omelette is rolled in the chapati, and then you kind of like get something that's like a shawarma. But these are chapatis being made. The omelette that goes into the Rolex. So now the chapati is placed on top of the omelette, and they're kind of like fried together, and then they're going to get rolled, and you get the Ugandan Rolex. Not the designer one. It's a lot. The Rolex doesn't look like much, but it is a lot. When you eat it, you're very full.
Your chapati is here.
Okay, I'll take it in a second.
I add more too.
Yeah. Now just
To flamingo paradise. They migrated here. Oh my god, look, so much pink all over on the salt lake. It's really crazy how many there are. We're gonna change and get a closer shot. Oh wow, we are in flamingo paradise. Can you see that? Pink flamingos at this salt production site. Absolutely wonderful. Can't believe it. Smells like shit though. Good morning guys, this is day 4 I believe, or day 3, I don't know, I've lost count, in Queen Elizabeth National Park. We just completed part of the game drive. We're still heading to Ishasha, hoping to find some tree climbing lions, but we made a break at Bunyapaka Salt Lake, which is very interesting because they produce salt traditionally here. But what's also beautiful is that you've got loads of flamingos in the background, pink flamingos. Normally they used to be at home in Kenya, but there's a lot of flooding, so they've migrated here. But if we turn around to that side, we see the salt mining going on. If you see the white piles in there, that's the salt, and they've kind of like dug different pits where they allow it to dry and evaporate, and then they can process the salt. So if you feel like buying salt, check this place out. If you feel like just watching and understanding the traditional process of salt making, or just enjoying the flamingos as they are here right now or this time of the year, then do the same. We're off to Ishasha and we're hoping to see some cats. Till now we've seen hyenas, hippos, lots of antelopes, but no cats. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. Cats be in Ishasha.
I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Yours truly, Liesel81.